All right. Pardon me. I have moved in a little closer on this. I've stuck a ruler here. All right, so 3.5 inches is there. Anyway, I stuck a ruler here to keep it within the frame because I've zoomed in. I'm going to try doing this a little bit more closely. Let's see. Go around now to where I am. I'm going to do two things today. One, I'm going to take a look at these. And two, I'm going to show you how I remove the paper from the block. We'll go back and revisit this other one too while we're at it. Okay, as in Mr. Natural says, use the right tool for the job. All right, these are all dried and labeled with the color name that's on the pigments. I tested 22 of them, not black, not white. White, we use the white of the paper to lighten things, more water, let more paper show through. And black we make by mixing blue and an orange, or a brown, an orangish brown. I mentioned this before. If you've ever worked with fountain pen inks or water-soluble, well, the older water-soluble felt tip pens, when you spill water on it, you see it separate into a blue and a sepia. And that always mystified me, but it's not that mystifying. That's how you make black. There really isn't such thing as black, although we do use lamp black is a color, is a black pigment, and it is made from the soot that's collected inside of a lantern, from the candle burning there, that black, that's lamp black. There's one called bone black, which is made of burned bones. And in the past, it was called ivory black because it was made from burned ivory. Okay, so let's take a look at these first as they dried up close. We tried a few, letting them mix together things. It mixes pretty nicely. Okay. This was the black that I mixed when I did this example. And here's also this real cool lemony yellow here with this cool indigo blue here mixing together to make a green and a version of green. Just letting them mix. One of these I noted was a little bit granulated. I see people buying watercolors that granulate. Watercolors aren't supposed to granulate. It's fine if you like it doing that, but it's like, that's a cheap watercolor if it's granulating. It's not ground well enough. Oh, I'm not really noticing it now. Any granulation on anything. What? Oh yeah, I go up close. So they're all pretty smooth. I'm quite pleased with these, and then all we're doing is testing the color fastness, and if they hold up for a month in the direct sun, they're great for an inexpensive watercolor. I've had watercolor pens, they're just for kids, but you know, so they don't really need to last. But I've had those and I put them in the window and they didn't even last 2 days. So I think one of these was the more granular looking one, but they're all fine. And you remember when I painted it, you saw me, I'd go across several times. So sometimes you see me doubling up. This paper is so nice. And then you see also at the end of each one, there's a, where am I? There. At the, where I finish the brush, there's always a little bit more load of water. To avoid that from happening, you can just take and tilt your board when it dries to get this to smooth out. But I didn't do that because I had so many of them too. Looks like I stuck my finger in that one as well. So that's how these came out. Oh wait, I'm doing this way. Here we go. Yeah, this plain was what came with it. I just put indigo. So I have indicated also the names that I call them. Let's see if I can get this in here. It's not working too well. On this side here, go from the bottom up. I forgot one there in those three. I left the scarlet out. And that crimson and scarlet are, yeah, all of these are nice. I don't know, I forgot to write this one down. I think it was just orange, some kind of orange. I think they called it orange yellow. No? Yeah. And it's yellow orange. Remember to put your primary color first in the nomenclature for a standard description. Now, what I'm going to do is show you how to get this off of here. What you need to do is find something to separate the first page and stick it down in there. Well, I have a couple of things. When I did it on this tablet, I was too lazy to walk over about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 8 steps to look for a letter opener. So I grabbed this because it's right here in my art supplies, my Jasper brush holder that has some miscellaneous things because I'm out here a lot. So this is a size 0 or something, double pointed needle for knitting doll clothes. And you saw me using it the other day to poke holes into the tops of these tubes because they were very, very difficult. The little lid poking through like you do on things, it wasn't enough. So I used that on this. Who knows what's stuck on the end of it? You know, it's a miscellaneous tool. Well, I decided a good way to get this off of here would be to stick this down inside here and go all the way around and cut it off. I did. And when I cut it off, I looked at it and I said, what are all those marks? What happened? Was there something on this paper? No, I did it. I did it by sticking this down inside of here and wiggling it off and wiping stuff off inside. So here's how you take it off. You get a nice, dull, old kitchen knife, not serrated, smooth. A nice, old, dull kitchen knife. Okay. Not really sharp enough to use. Could sharpen it, but I'm not going to. Have other knives. So these I keep around as letter openers. I have a letter opener, but I haven't located it yet. So you take these. This one has rusty stuff on it, so I'm going to wipe it off on my sweatshirt. Make sure there's nothing going to come directly off. And then I'm going to pick this up. And I'm going to insert the knife. You see here, can you tell the difference? Wait, hold still. This is glued, gummed. This is gummed. This is not. It's gummed all the way around to keep this flat when it's wet. So you can just wet this thing up as much as you like, and it'll dry flat. This gum will hold it in place. When you're done, then you cut it off by going in between the first paper and the second. And then you cut. You don't want to use a utility knife for this because you'll be shaving the paper as you do it. That's why you're using a dull knife. I'm going to try the other one. It's a little smaller. Wipe it on my sweatshirt. I do have a nice apron to use. Yeah, this is going through. Nicely. And again, here's another reason you don't want it sharp. Going around the corner. There we go. Slicing around, almost there. Oh, look, it's like a tablet now. If you wanted, you could do that. I don't. I'm going to take it off. And free. And now I have a nice piece all flat, ready to go. I think I'll play on this other piece of paper that I wrapped, although I can do something small inside of that and then cut it down. So, these Academy papers, by the way, come with a nice little protective sheet as well. Okay, so here it is, and it is, I think it's 140 weight, what we call, and there it's 300 grams per M. I don't know what the measure is, but that corresponds to 140 weight watercolor paper. The weight of paper is how much, I think 1,000 sheets, but maybe 100 sheets of the paper weighs. It's a full sheet, which would be 24 by 36. And then 100 or 1,000 of those would weigh 140 pounds. So that's what 140-pound weight is. But we don't take our paper out and weigh it to check. We just look at it. We know what it looks like. So I'm just peeling off the gum here, the little bit of gum that's left here and there. And there it is. See how flat it is? So I think I'm done. That's kind of a long time to show you these two simple things. But I'm still trying to push this information out there because there's misinformation out there, and it causes you to spend too much money on stuff, you know. So I'm not sponsored on any of these things. I'm not monetized, none of that. I do this because I love this stuff, and I want other people to love it too. I want you to have the best experience possible with watercolor. I don't want you to get stuck with crummy brushes or crummy colors, but I don't want you to have to spend a whole bunch of money trying to find good colors. So what I'm doing here is finding ones. I was very, very happy with the ones from Aaron Brothers. And the same company produces the stuff for Hobby Lobby, and that's the Artist's Loft. Don't remember which one uses that brand, but the Artist's Loft tube watercolors are nice. This is white. I pulled it out to do the thing I never do, which was still need to do a little bit more on this. I had to go into this with white. I was unfamiliar. And again, do you see the difference? These are the colors, but when you're working with them, you don't want anything so garish. There's that burnt sienna, but there's a lot of water in it, and it builds up. A couple layers of that with a little bit of that, there's your bricks. So you want to mix your colors and allow them to mix sort of together on the palette here and there. You don't want a big mud thing in the middle, but it's okay if they mix together. They tone each other down nicely. Okay. So this is the Bao paper, and these are Winsor Newton watercolors on here. And I'm having to use a little bit of this. I had to go in here to do this over because I did this on location from life, and it was time to go. So I said, I know what's down there. It has to be that. And put the red in. And again, I was unfamiliar with this paper, and this paper just goes, yeah, give me that color. It's great paper. Okay. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, ask a question, give me a thumbs up. These are all kind of cataloged underneath tube watercolor chat, because we're talking about tube watercolors. But there's a bunch of different things that I've done. I've done a little bit on here, and then I've done the large one as well. I think I have, and then I also did, I don't know that I put this in, the watercolor pencils and tested those out. And I'm testing them in the sun too. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much.